You know, when we hear about Haiti, so many different stories come to mind, but today we're going to uncover a different one. It's a story that's written in the shimmering feathers of rare birds and in the ancient DNA of mammals that literally walked the earth alongside the dinosaurs. We're diving into Haiti's living treasure, its endemic species, a whole world of life found absolutely nowhere else. To really get a sense of this treasure, we need to rewind the clock. Just try to picture it. Pretty much all of Haiti, over 99% of it, was once covered in a single, vast, ancient forest. This incredible, isolated wilderness was the perfect natural laboratory where all of Haiti's unique life forms came to be. Okay, now let's jump back to the present day. That lush green jewel, it's been almost completely stripped away. Today, less than 1% of that original forest is left. And that shocking loss is the backdrop for a really urgent story of survival against some pretty overwhelming odds. So here's our game plan for how we're going to walk through this. First, we'll dig into what makes Haiti's wildlife a global treasure. Then, you'll get to meet the incredible survivors holding on. We'll look at the crisis they're facing head on. And finally, we'll discover Iwana, a really powerful seed of hope for the future. We usually think of treasure as, gold or lost pirate ships. But Haiti's most priceless wealth is biological. It's a living, breathing collection of species that you just can't find anywhere else on the planet. At the very heart of this whole story is one key idea: endemic species. It's a simple concept, really. It just means a plant or an animal that evolved in complete isolation and now exists in only one single specific place. For these creatures, Haiti isn't just their home, it's their entire universe. And the scale of this uniqueness, it's just staggering. After Cuba, Haiti is the biggest biodiversity hub in the entire Caribbean. Its super rugged mountains create all these little pockets of different ecosystems, basically acting like natural laboratories for evolution. This is exactly why a place like the Massif de la Haute region isn't just special for Haiti. It's a global hotspot, with one of the highest concentrations of unique species anywhere in the world. All right, it's time to meet the real stars of our show. And these aren't just animals. They are living, breathing symbols of Haiti's natural heritage. And each one has its own incredible story and a critical job to do. First up, let me introduce you to the Haitian Solenodon. This little creature is an actual living fossil. Its family line split off from other mammals about 76 million years ago. Oh, and it's also one of the only venomous mammals on the planet, using toxic saliva to take down its prey. It's a true survivor, deeply connected to what's left of the mountain forests. Next, meet the powerful rhinoceros iguana. It gets its name from those cool horn-like scales on its face. But it's also what scientists call a keystone species. That's a fancy way of saying the whole dry forest ecosystem really depends on it. By eating fruits and, dispersing the seeds later, it's basically planting the next generation of trees. It's a master gardener. And here's where nature and culture are just so beautifully linked. The Hispaniolan trogon, Haiti's national bird. With its bright green back and fiery red belly, it's a sacred symbol of the mountains. But it's also a scientific tool. Its presence tells you everything you need to know about the health of the forest. If the trogon is thriving, you know the ecosystem is doing well. But the diversity isn't just in the big animals. It also exists in a miniature world. Haiti is home to this incredible variety of endemic frogs. You've got Mozart's frog, whose call actually sounds like music. The Lahat glanded frog, with these unbelievable sapphire blue eyes. And one of the smallest frogs in the world, the Makaya breast spot frog, which is literally no bigger than a grape. They're like living barometers for the health of the island's water. So we've met these amazing survivors, but now we have to turn to the tough part, the harsh reality. This unique biological kingdom is under a relentless, constant siege. And look, this isn't just my opinion or some kind of guess. The scientific community has been sounding the alarm. Back in 2018, a major study concluded that Haiti is, right now, in the middle of a mass extinction event, and the main cause is no secret. The number one cause is the almost total loss of forest, which have been cleared for charcoal and for farming. The scale is just hard to wrap your head around. 42 of Haiti's 50 biggest mountains have been completely stripped of their original forests. And then, on top of that devastating habitat loss, you've got threats from invasive predators and illegal hunting. And if you're thinking, well, what about the national parks? Aren't they safe? Take a look at this data.
Since they were created, Pikmakaya National Park has lost around 60% of its primary forest. La Visite has lost 75%. This just proves that putting up a sign that says protected isn't nearly enough to stop the destruction.
Okay, so the situation is definitely dire. But the story doesn't stop there, because right in the middle of this crisis, a new kind of seed is being planted, a seed of hope aimed squarely at the next generation. The challenge is huge, right? I mean, how do you protect endangered species when their homes are vanishing and a whole generation is growing up disconnected from that heritage? Well, one really creative answer is a project called Iwana, the Endemic Wildlife Animated Heroes of Haiti. What Iwana does is brilliant. It turns Haiti's real animals into a team of animated superheroes. You've got Solano, the Solenodon, who represents intelligence and vigilance. Renox, the iguana, is all about strength and protection. Twagon, the wise Trogon, is joined by Mozo the frog for speed and optimism, Colibri the hummingbird for energy and hope, and Palaiso, the palm tree, for stability. They're designed to help kids connect with their natural heritage in a fun way. And the mission behind it all is both powerful and incredibly simple. Use the magic of stories and culture to inspire a new generation of conservationists. It's all about creating pride and a sense of ownership over Haiti's natural treasures. Because, let's be honest, you only protect what you love, and you can only love what you know. So, this brings us to what might be the most important question of all. Beyond just being beautiful and unique, why does the survival of these animals actually matter for the future of Haiti? And that's a perfectly fair question. In a country that's facing so many other challenges, why should we focus on a tiny little frog or a really shy mammal? What's the real-world connection here? The answer is that these creatures aren't separate from people's well-being. They're absolutely essential to it. Healthy forests and mangrove swamps provide a natural shield against hurricanes, which can turn a devastating storm into something much less destructive. Healthy reefs support the fish that feed entire communities. Intact ecosystems provide the clean water and fertile soil that are the very foundation of sustainability. To put it simply, their survival is our survival. So, when you boil it all down, it comes to this. Protecting these endemic species isn't some separate side issue. It is protecting Haiti's future. Every single tree that's saved, every river that's cleaned up, every child who's inspired, that is a direct investment in the nation's resilience, its health, and its prosperity. The story of Haiti's endemic treasures is really at a tipping point. Their survival, and all the vital things they do for the ecosystem, it all hangs in the balance. The actions that are taken today will write the next chapter of their story. So the only question that's left is, what role will each of us play in making sure it's a story of recovery and of hope?